Greetings loyal subscribers and honoured guests. Today I'm continuing my replay of the entire Dragon Age series with my review of the Awakening expansion. This video is largely based on my written review from 2010, but I have gone back and tweaked some of it and fleshed it out more to bring it up to date. First things first, don't expect an audio-visual overhaul with this release. The graphics are pretty much identical to the original Dragon Age, so you get the same muddy, somewhat last-gen looking textures, decent musical score and quality voice acting. There are fewer big-name actors filling out the cast this time, but the sadly now departed Robin Sachs is there in one of the more important NPC roles. Fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer may remember him as Ethan Rayne, and those who have played Mass Effect 2 will probably recognise his voice as Zaid, the DLC character. Considering that Awakening takes place in an entirely different part of Ferelden, it is somewhat disappointing that the environments look so similar to what has come before. The foresty bits here look like those set in the Brazilian forest last time, for example. Some all-new settings would definitely have been appreciated. Having said that, I did enjoy the section set in the Black Marsh. BioWare did a great job of crafting a desolate place with a really spooky atmosphere. Things pick up a bit when you examine the plot and characters. Awakening sees your Grey Warden being promoted to Commander and being reassigned to the Amaranthine chapter in order to try and eradicate the remaining Darkspawn that are still causing no end of trouble in the countryside. Early on in this new campaign you encounter a Herlock who has gained the ability to speak English. What has caused this change and what does it mean for the people of Ferelden? Are the Darkspawn even more of a threat than they were before, or could they be reasoned with? That's what you need to find out. There are 6 characters that you can recruit into your party for the duration of this expansion, 5 of which are completely new and 1 who is a returning character from the main campaign. Of the new bunch, I really liked Anders, the mage who has run away from the Circle of Magi no less than 7 times, and Nathaniel Howe, son of the scheming wanker Arl Rendenhowe, who was a prominent part of the origin story. Throwing you together with a supposed enemy and then helping him restore his family name was an entertaining way to pass the time. I didn't feel that I got to know the returning character Ogren in the main campaign because I ended up recruiting him last, so it was nice to spend more time fleshing out his character here, and eventually he became a valuable part of my party. There are also plenty of humorous pieces of dialogue between the many characters as you roam around the world, and I would frequently stop what I was doing just to hear what they had to say. Other new stuff includes 2 new specialisations for each character class and new abilities to go with them, and a raised level cap of 35. There are also new achievements or trophies to earn, as you would expect. With the new specialisations, the Rogue and Warrior classes are now more of an even match with the Mage, who was way more powerful and cool previously. If you are returning to Dragon Age Origins for a second or even third time, things will be considerably easier than before because the extra specialisations will be unlocked right from the start, giving you something of an advantage. You will also have some powerful equipment that you will have earned from beating the various DLC packs previously. These things almost break the game at times, especially the bonus items. You just end up wearing the same armour and using the same weapons all the way through, which takes a lot of the fun out of things, to be honest. Of course, if this is your first time playing the game, then this isn't even an issue. When I first reviewed this expansion, there were 2 options for purchasing it, digital and physical, with the physical option being cheaper and better value for money. This remains true today, but once again your best option for acquiring this, as well as the main campaign and the rest of the DLC, is the Ultimate Edition. This can be picked up used for about £15, which is roughly the same price that the Awakening expansion was sold for on its own back in the day. The story also comes to a rather abrupt end, and it's a shame that you only get to play around with the new characters for a little while. Whoever you end up recruiting last doesn't spend much time with your party at all. It's nice that Anders returns as a major character in Dragon Age 2, as he was one of the more entertaining options here. If you really enjoyed the main story of Dragon Age Origins, then Awakening is well worth spending another 15 or so hours in. I should warn you that it's quite easy to accidentally skip some of the side quests if you rush into the final conflict, like I did. So make sure you've done everything you want to do in Amaranthine and talk to your party members thoroughly in Vigil's Keep to make sure you've explored their backstories properly. Ultimately, this expansion was a lot of fun. I just wish it was slightly longer so that I felt I had bonded with all of my party. Unfortunately, this time Sigrun drew the short straw because I recruited her last, and then we were already in the end game. New players should definitely get hold of the Ultimate Edition and treat the whole thing as one massive game. Those who have played Origins but somehow missed Awakening should keep an eye out for a DLC sale. They do come around sometimes. I think I got the score of 7 out of 10 right back in the day, so I'm not going to change it now. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with one for Dragon Age 2 fairly soon. In the meantime, take care.